If you guys missed this weapon, you may want to check this one out. It's really, really neat. Really, really cool weapon. It's called the Antspur Rapier. And what makes this weapon so interesting is that it does Scarlet Rot buildup. Now, why is that interesting? Well, because it just so happens to take certain Ashes of War that make it a very interesting weapon. So I can take the Ashes of War. I need to take my current one off of these. Okay, whoops. All right, so this one. I can put on one of the bleed-like ones, Seppuku or Bloody Slash, or if you have any others that do a bleed type effect. Now, you'll see at the bottom, if I put this on at all, I get blood loss buildup. Well, there's something else I can do here when I go to put one of these on. I can pick a different type. So standard will do nothing, Scarlet Rot. Poison will do poison. Blood loss will do blood loss. And occult will do whatever occult does, arcane scaling, right? Well, here's where it gets interesting. If I put poison on a Seppuku, then what happens is now I have poison and Scarlet Rot on the Rapier. I can use to both of them. So now it's poison and Scarlet Rot buildup on this weapon. Very interesting, right? All right, already kind of interesting. Doubled, dot damage using these rapiers. But what's really interesting then is that I can Seppuku these, and then I will have the poison, the rot, and I will have blood loss. If you haven't seen my video on how bleed works, we have confirmed that Seppuku just adds flat 80. So right now, you can't see it, but it's this particular one is poison buildup 98, Scarlet Rot 50, and with Seppuku going, it is blood loss buildup 80. So with this weapon, you can cause poison, Scarlet Rot, and bleed all at the same time. So how do we get this weapon, and how do you get two? Well, first off, to get two, you're going to have to New Game Plus, or you're going to have a friend to give you the one from his or her game. So how to get it? There's only one in the entire game. It's going to be way up here, near Volcano Manor, sort of. You can get here fairly early game, actually, depending on if you want to get the Dectus Medallion or not. So this swampy castle place over here on the map. You go here, and we're going to head over to this peninsula area over here. Okay, so I've gone here now on a different character that has not obtained that item yet. And if you go over here, you'll find not only the giant guy, but you'll find this person, Melee Mares or something. It's like an invasion, but it's not actually an invader. It's just like a random humanoid NPC type of thing. So if you can beat this person, they will drop it. You can see right now in their hand that they have the Antspur Rapier. Alright, so I took the person down, and you'll see after this kill, Antspur Rapier. And you get Maria's mask. And Maria's robe. So anyway, after that, you will now have the Antspur Rapier. Better watch out for that guy. So the other thing that you'll need is the Seppuku Ashes of War. So in order to obtain this Ash of War, you're going to be kind of later in the game. It's after the big city place. So after the city, you'll go to Mountaintop of the Giants, and this Ashes of War will be by the freezing lake. It'll be right around here somewhere on the map. There's one of those things where you see like footsteps all around in running around in circles, and you have to try to hit the invisible enemy, and it'll drop the Ashes of War. So that's right there. There'll be videos on each of those. Well, there'll at least be a video on the Seppuku one in the description of this video, in case you want to get it. So once you have all of that, then you just as simple as going to a site of grace and converting your weapon over to one that does poison, rot, and then with the addition of the Seppuku buff, it will also do bleed. Or if you would rather, you could just give it bleed and rot, which is still really, really strong as well. For PvP at least, it's probably better just to go blood loss, Scarlet Rot, plus the Seppuku for, depending on the level of your weapon and your scaling, your arcane and all that. In my case, it would be 164 blood loss buildup. So it really just depends on how you want to build it. But I just wanted to share this weapon with you. It's a really cool weapon, and it's a very fast weapon too, which is really nice. Especially since all those build-up things like that, like blood loss, poison, they all build up purely based on number of hits. A charged hit does not build more, so you just want to attack as fast as possible. So if you have two, you can go so fast that you can proc these insanely fast on enemies. So really neat weapon. I just wanted to share this weapon with you guys. I thought it was really cool. Definitely worth investigating. Definitely pick it up before you do a New Game Plus, so that way you can get two. So if you ever want to at a later date, you can then try it at a later date with dual wielding, which is really, really cool. So that is the Antspur Rapier, and that's how to get it in Elden Ring.